What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Cashed Out, and today's going to be a fun day. We're actually going to be doing a little bit of a walkthrough. I'm going to be talking to you guys and comparing two AI content writers. Now, I'm going to be comparing Jasper AI, which changed its name recently from Jarvis to Jasper because Marvel, but we're also going to be talking about Wordhero, and that's the other AI content writer that I've had a chance to use recently, and I just wanted to compare the experience and actually give you guys a hands-on walkthrough of me writing a blog post about gardening. I'm about to start my garden. It's going to be the first garden I ever do. So I've got gardening on my mind. So I wanted to see how well these do in terms of just taking like a generic topic and being able to create usable content for your blog post. So I'm going to share my screen here and we're going to walk through each of them. And we'll start off with Jasper because that's the one that I would say I've used the most. I've used it longer. I started off AI content writing with Jasper and then I switched over to Wordhero just to experience something different, to get a feel for it and to see what's out there in the market. So I got a chance to use both, and these aren't the only ones. There's a ton of different ones, but I wanted to use these two just because it's fresh on my mind. So anyway, let's jump into Jasper and I'll show you the process for writing a blog post about gardening. So let's go. All right, so we're here in Jasper now, if you can see my screen here. So this is the dashboard. This is your landing page once you jump into Jasper AI. And if you scroll through here, you can kind of see the usage of it. I recently did a lot of writing here over the past couple of days, so a little bit of a spike there, and I just jumped back on here from using Wordhero, so there's not a ton of writing that's been going on beforehand. But to start off, we're going to actually go over here to the templates, and I'm going to start off with the templates, and I'm actually, if you use Jasper, and this is one thing that I really like about Jasper, is that there's so many options, and Wordhero does a good job of this too, and we'll talk about that once we get to them. But there's a lot of different styles of writing templates that you can use, whether it's long form assistant, which is what we'll ultimately end up writing into, but there's paragraph generators, AIDA frameworks, there's blog topic ideas if you just need some memory joggers. You can do Facebook posts, Google ads, Amazon products, the list goes on. As you can tell, there's just a ton. But to start off, we're actually going to start off with the blog. We're actually going to do a blog post outline over here, and this is super handy because it helps you kind of get some ideas in terms of topics that you'd want to use. So obviously we're going to go in here and we're going to enter the blog post topic. So in this case, we're going to do how to start a garden. That's going to be the topic here because that's what I'm talking about. So how to start a garden, obviously it helps if you spell well, and then you can choose the tone of voice in terms of the type of tone you would like the feedback from Jasper, keep mixing that up, the type of feedback that you like it to give you in. So in this case, I'm gonna do let's do funny. Let's see how that looks. So once you do that, once you have those inputs in there, you just hit generate AI content down here and it'll start processing a couple blog post outlines for you. So over here you can see the outputs are laid out. So it's got several, I think 3 different outputs here, and each of them have 6 different topics points. So the first one over here says start by choosing a spot in your yard that gets plenty of light, amend the soil with organic matter. Let's see here, plant seeds or starter plants, water regularly, especially during times of drought, weed often, fertilize, enjoy your garden. Choose the right spot, prep the soil, add compost, plant your seeds or starter plants, water. So a lot of it is pretty similar, as you can see, but it just depends on what exactly you're going for. So if you don't like the feel of these, you can either clear out these inputs or you can just click generate AI content again, and it'll give you 3 more outputs that you can review. And the new outputs obviously are highlighted here. Let's see here. So you got choose a spot, a lot of similar stuff. So let's go ahead and go with this one. This one seemed pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to click on here and copy this. So this text has been copied, and what we're going to do is we're going to go back over here to the templates and we're going to jump into the long form assistant right here. So this is really probably one of my favorite parts about Jasper is the long form assistant basically walks you through the initial steps of setting up your blog post, from the keyword that you're trying to target to the title of your blog post and the initial paragraph, which is really cool. So we're going to go ahead and jump in here to the blog post workflow. So as you can see, it starts off by asking you, what is it that we're going to talk about? So here we're going to do the same thing. We're going to talk about how to start a garden. That's what the topic of our blog post is going to be. So how to start, actually, I'm gonna do a blog post about how to start a garden. Okay, so once we've told it what we want, let's jump in here. And now we're gonna choose a couple keywords. So let's say start a garden. Let's see here, gardening. And we'll just go with those. I think I'll do 2 of them for now. And then we're gonna click continue right here. And then we're going to click generate ideas to have Jasper give us a couple blog post title ideas. So let's take a look at what have come up here. So how to start a garden, the ultimate guide, how to start a garden. So a lot of the ultimate guides, it seems to be a popular one. Let me see. I like this one right here, how to start a garden, everything you need to know. That looks pretty good to start. But let's see if it can give me a couple more just to get some options here. Let's see. Okay, so as you can see, like, the outputs that you get out of here are going to be dependent on a lot of what you put into it. So the inputs and outputs are dependent on each other, but a lot of it sometimes is like just repetition. You know, you kind of see the same thing over and over and over again. So I mean, it's still AI. That's why I say that it's a good companion to your writing, but it's not going to write for you. So if you just think you're going to plug in whatever you want and have it spit out a whole blog post, may not turn out that good. So, but let's see here. I think what I'm going to do is let's just choose this one, how to start a garden, the basics. So let's pick it up. We'll use that one. And then I'm going to hit generate title ideas in terms of intro paragraph here. So a couple options here. Let's see here. If you're looking to start a garden, you're in luck. Gardening is a way to get some exercise, blah, blah, blah. Basics of starting a garden. We'll cover everything and choosing the right location, planting your seed, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. I like that one. Let's see what this one has to say. Starting a garden can seem like a daunting task, but it's really not that difficult. Basics from some tips. Gardening can be fun, rewarding hobby. So if you're, okay, actually I like this one better. So we're gonna go with this one. We'll go with the middle one here. So now we've got what the topic is about. We got a title. And then we have an intro paragraph to get us going. So we're going to jump into the editor. So this is the long form editor here. It's a similar layout to Google Docs or Microsoft Word or whatever you've used in the past, and it behaves very similarly. So what we're going to do though is we're going to go ahead and get started here. And the first thing I'm going to do is actually paste in here the outline that we got when we first started. So now we have our outline, and I'm going to use these outlines as our, let's just say our subheadings here. So this is going to be, all right, H2. So these are going to be some of our topics. Let's see here. Well, actually, I'm going to leave the numbers and I'll just make them, there we go. We'll just do it this way. So we've got the intro paragraph here. So we're going to go ahead and jump into writing the meat of it now. So choose the right spot for your garden. That's the first topic or the first step in starting a garden. So I'm going to actually give it a little bit of, I guess, beginning words in terms of getting the paragraph started. And then I'm going to let it run from there. So let's say, oh, before we do that, let's do, I'm just going to do serious for the tone of voice here. Okay, so let's start off with the first thing. And then I'm going to let Jarvis or Jasper, whatever your name is, do its thing here. All right, so as you can see, this is the first output that it's given us. So the first thing you need to do when starting a garden is to choose the right spot. You'll want to pick a spot that gets plenty of sunlight and has good drainage. If you're not sure where to start, ask a friend or neighbor who has a garden for advice. So pretty basic, right? Pretty basic, but let's just say maybe we want a little bit something more than that. So let's do this. Let's hit that refresh and have it give us another option here. So it says, now this is funny. So you actually guys are getting to see live the type of responses that we get on here. So it literally just repeated the same response that I got the last time. So I'm gonna switch it up a little bit here. We're actually gonna add it for a longer response. And then what I'm gonna do is let's get rid of that. Let's see, I'm gonna give it a little bit more input here. Right. Spot can be. And then let's see what it tells you. Okay. All right, Cool. So for short and sweet paragraphs, obviously it's hit the spot here. I think this would be the right spot, can be a big factor in the success of your garden. So it's worth taking the time to find the perfect location. Let me see. Once you've chosen a spot, it starts with blah, 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 blah. So you can see it's kind of like continuing on. So it's almost like you work with it to fill in the gaps in terms of things, but you also want to make sure that you're reviewing it yourself and making sure that what it's printing out is actually right and appropriate for your blog post. So it's not completely automated. You kind of have to work with it. So I think we'll leave it here, at least for the sake of examples in terms of this topic. So let's jump into the next one. Let's see here. Once you've picked the right location, and then I'm gonna let it run. Okay, so it looks like it hit a little sweet spot here when it comes to compost. Retain moisture. Compost can be bought at most gardening stores. You can make it at your own home. Homemade compost is easy to make in a great way. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just kind of reviewing what it wrote and making sure that it makes sense. You know, that's kind of the big thing, is making sure that whatever content it's supplying you with is stuff that actually makes sense and flows well with your topic. So it looks like it left off here. Let's see here. So I'm actually going to just delete this line. And we're just going to keep going on here. And you guys are kind of getting the idea. As you can see, it's not completely like 100% automated in terms of writing everything out, but you get the feel for it. So I would just repeat the same process here and then, you know, close out the paragraph, and you got yourself a blog post right there. So that's how it is. I mean, I wanted to just run through like a hands-on example of writing a blog post. So that's about, I would say, I don't know, like at least 50% of the blog post. I'm not going to bore you by going through the rest of it here. So you guys gonna get a gist of how Jasper works. I feel like the output that you get from here is pretty good. You know, it's not perfect. It's not perfect. And a lot of it too has to do with the type of input I was giving it. If you give better input in terms of, okay, if you have a better grasp, I don't know a ton about gardening. I'm just starting to learn it. So I don't really know how much to put into there. But if you have a really good grasp of the topic that you're writing about, you can kind of give it a lot more lead on. And the better leading in you give it, the better it works. So if you have if you can give it maybe a sentence or two, it can be able to add in and pull a lot better output for you than if you just give it like 2 words, like I was doing, 2 or 3 words. So that's Jasper. I think honestly for me, it's been probably my favorite one to use. It's very straightforward, it's very streamlined, and it's got a ton of different options. I've actually used it a couple times on, as you can see, we've done a couple blog posts on here, but some of the templates that I've used, I've actually used some for social media posts. If I just need something funny for Instagram or, you know, anything like that, it just gives you a lot of possibilities of things that you can do with it. So that's Jasper. So let's go ahead now, and we're going to switch over to Wordhero, and I'm going to walk you through the steps of writing a blog post about gardening on Wordhero now. Okay, as you can see, we're here on Wordhero now. So we've made the jump from Jasper to Wordhero, and Wordhero is a little bit different from Jasper because Jasper is more of a monthly plan. So in terms of Jasper, I think the one that I had subscribed to them a little while back, so I've been grandfathered into some of the plans, but the one that I had was the boss plan, which is kind of the top of the line plan, and it was about $50 a month, 50 something dollars a month, I think like 54, 59. And in terms of Wordhero, I actually got this one from AppSumo, and it was like $89 for a lifetime access. So Wordhero, a little bit different plan setup to where you pay once and you've got it for life. You can use it as much as you want to, and then Jasper, you kind of pay on a monthly plan. So Wordhero is a little bit of a different setup, but let's kind of roll through a similar thing. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into here. Let's see here. It's got a lot of different options. So I'm gonna try and find, let's see here, the blog outlines. We're gonna go through the similar process. So topic wise here, we're gonna talk about how to start a garden, just like we did on Jasper. Okay, and then let's go ahead and see what she can do here for us. So it's going to generate some outlines. Okay, so as you can see, it's a little bit different with Wordhero. You don't get the 3 outputs like Jasper gives you. You just kind of get one at a time. So if you don't like this one, there's a plus, a thumbs up, and a thumbs down over here. So you can choose whether you like it or not and help it fine tune the results that it gives back to you. So here you can see it's got the introduction. And I do like this about it in terms of the introduction and conclusion. It kind of gives you a little bit better structure structure than Jasper did. So here you got an introduction, why garden, types of garden, planning and design. Okay, that's pretty decent. So I'm gonna do a thumbs up on that one, and we'll just roll with that one for time's sake. So we got the blog outline, so we're gonna close this over here. Okay, so with Wordhero, when we go here to the editor, as you can see, as I mentioned earlier, I got the lifetime access for Wordhero, and it was only $89, so you didn't have to pay monthly, but that didn't include the editor. So with Jasper, obviously you saw the built-in editor that came with it, and here with Wordhero, you don't get that built-in editor. You actually have to pay the $89 to get the platform, and then you have to pay an extra $59 on top of that to get the long-form editor that we were using on Jasper. So I didn't pay for this one. Honestly, I was like, yeah, I didn't feel like I really needed it because I could just post it, paste that information elsewhere and just kind of edit. My idea was to do the editing on WordPress as I was typing out the blog post, and that way I can avoid having to pay $59 for an editor. So that's one thing that I don't like about Wordhero, is that the editor isn't included, but I completely get it. I completely get it because you're getting a lifetime access, only $89, and the value is very good in terms of having an AI writer for that cheap. So I totally get having the add-on, but I think it would be nice to have like a basic version of the editor built in, and then if you want any additional features, maybe then you can pay the $59 to get them. So since we didn't pay for the editor and we don't have access to that editor here, I'm just gonna go ahead and paste the outline that we made earlier here on OneNote. So I'm just gonna use OneNote, and we'll just kind of do the writing on here, but use Wordhero to do the AI piece. So we're gonna start off here with the introduction. So why garden? So I'm gonna jump down here, and we're gonna go back into Wordhero, and we're gonna go ahead and go now into, let's see here. So we got blog headlines, blog intros. I think let's do intros here in terms of doing the intro paragraph. So once again, it's asking you what your article, this section is about. So section is about the reasons why gardening is good. We'll go with that. Gardening is good. All right, so let's go ahead and do write for me and see what kind of intro paragraph Wordhero is going to give us here. All right, so we got a couple outputs here. So gardening is good for many reasons. It can help provide fresh vegetables, help reduce stress, blah, blah, blah. Gardening is good for a myriad of reasons. First, it's excellent exercise whether you're working. Additionally, gardening can be a very blah, 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 blah. Okay, so we'll copy that one. And as you can see, we don't have the editor here, so I'm just basically going to copy and paste into here. So garden, why gardening? And then we'll jump over here. So the next one on the outline here was types of garden. So jump back into Wordhero here, and instead of intros, we're actually going to go over here to blog paragraphs. So what we'll do here, so obviously it's keeping the intro section over here in terms of what we were writing. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and choose a keyword here. Let's see here. We'll just do gardening. Let's see here, how to start a garden. I'm gonna choose, I forgot what the the types of garden is the next time. So this section is about the types of garden you can have. All right, so let's go ahead and do write for me and see what it comes up with here. Okay, so we've got one here. There are many types of gardens that you can have in your yard. Which type you choose, blah, blah. There's a flower garden. You can buy plants. See if you plant, blah, blah. Nearly use a garden. Again, you can. Okay, so I'm actually going to say I like that one, but I'm actually going to have it give me another option. It's going to see what else it can do, the type of outputs it can do here. The most popular type, vegetable garden. Okay, another popular types of flower. Okay, so I kind of like this one a little bit better, so I'm just going to click on it and copy it. And then we're going to jump back here to paragraph 2, and there you go. So, and we'll just continue the similar process as I mentioned with Jasper. I'm not going to go through every single paragraph, but I wanted to just give you guys an idea of the type of feedback that you get from these AI writers. All right, so I wanted to do a quick test in terms of these two AI writers, and I wanted to see how well they do when it comes to talking about a strange or I guess newer concept concept or a newer topic. So I'm gonna actually see if I can get these two AI writers to tell me a little bit about NFT. Now, I don't know much, if anything, about NFTs. I have a general idea about what it is or what they do. So I'm just gonna put that information in. So we're gonna start off here with Wordhero, and I have put in what is an NFT as a description of what this section is about, and then I've put in the keywords of NFT. And as you can see here, the first output is an NFT is a type of digital asset that exists on a blockchain. It is unique and can be transferred, traded, or used in transactions. NFTs are often used to represent. Okay, so that seems pretty legit. It actually seems like a pretty good output. It's in line with what I know about NFTs so far. Obviously, I don't know everything, but that seems to make more sense. So I'm gonna like that one. I might have it do one more for me to see if that was a fluke or if it's actually on track here. So let's see here. So what is an NFT? NFT stands for non-fungible token. They are digital assets that are unique and cannot be replicated. Okay. Well, yeah. That looks really good. That's a very good output on a topic that's kind of like out of the box. It's not like gardening or something that's been around for years to where there's a lot of information that's been accumulated. NFTs are, at least to me, they seem to be a newer thing, something that's come out more recently, or at least has come out more mainstream recently. So it's really cool. It's very impressive to actually see that Wordhero is able to nail it on here. It's actually, wow, I'm really impressed by that. So let's go ahead and jump into Jasper here and take a look at what Jasper said. All right, so on Jasper here, I put in similar layout that I did on Wordhero. I put in what is an NFT and then keywords to include or NFT. And looks like Jasper is way off topic here. So let's see, what is your paragraph about? What is an NFT? Same input that I did with Wordhero. And it's hitting on nutrient film technique, which is a hydroponic method of growing plants, which not exactly what I was looking for. So, okay. So in this one, it looks like all the outputs that it's come back with are about the hydroponics. Let's see. Let me go ahead and give it another run here to see what else it can come up with. All right, it's thinking. Let's see if it'll catch up. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we're on page here. So NFTs are digital assets that are unique, cannot be replicated. They're stored on a blockchain, which is a digital ledger that records all transactions. NFTs can represent anything from digital painting to a piece of music. Okay, NFTs are digital projects. Okay. So Jasper took a little while here. It looks like it took a little while to catch on to what exactly we're looking for. So I'm gonna thumbs up here and say, okay, that's a good. You finally got a good result here. So let's see if it'll continue that trend. Now I'm gonna run it one more time. Okay, so it looks like again it's gone back to the nutrient film technique. Okay, so in this example, honestly, it looks like Wordhero did better in terms of actually nailing the subject that I was going for. I was just trying to go with something that's off the wall, that's not too common, that's not too typical, and it did a good job. It did a really good job. Honestly, I was surprised. I thought that Jasper would nail it before Wordhero did, but hey, surprise, surprise. All right, so I'm gonna do one more test between these two, and I'm gonna ask them to write me a blog paragraph about what is a meme. So that's gonna be the topic that I wanted to write me something about. So what is a meme? So put that in here. Here we're on Wordhero, and as you can see, it says a meme is an idea, behavior, or style that spreads from person to person within a culture. Okay. I kind of don't know. This one got a little bit too deep for me. I kind of not exactly what I was going for. So I'm gonna thumbs down on that one and have it try one more time for me, see what it can get. All right, so this one is more on point. So a meme is an image, video, or text that is copied and spread rapidly. Okay, so that's more in line with what a meme is, at least in our conversation. So I'm gonna upvote that one, and then I'm gonna have it try one more time just to make sure it wasn't a fluke here. Okay. All right, so that's relatively close. I think about 2 out of 3, it nailed it in terms of what a meme is. So let's jump over here to Jasper and see the output that we got here. So what is a meme? So Okay, so it looks like Jasper actually got it good the first time. So memes can vary widely. They also are versatile. Internet. Okay, a meme is an idea. Oops, scrolled too far. A meme is an idea, concept, symbol. Okay. Yeah. All right. So it feels like, at least in this example here, Jasper's 3 outputs were very on point. All right, so now that we've had a chance to look through each of these guys, they both did really well. They do a really good job in terms of content writing, in terms of creating that AI content that we like and helping you write faster. The outputs are pretty similar in terms of the examples that we walked through. We can see that the outputs are pretty close to each other. There's some that both of them struggled with, and when they caught on, they did a really good job. And in terms of just the results, I honestly feel like Jasper has more of that, I guess, like conversational. It seems more natural in terms of the output that it puts out. It's, when I read it, I feel like it flows a little bit better and it works a little bit better in just the way that people normally talk. I feel like with Wordhero, the output is accurate, but it's almost like reading an encyclopedia article. It's like reading the definition of what it is that you're asking it to write about. It's very specific, but it doesn't have more of that conversational style, which comes into play with you. That's where you kind of take the output and you mold that. So that's another step to take in terms of the writing piece. So just something to consider between these two. That's what I've seen. I feel like Jasper, you almost kind of get it ready to go in a sense. There are some changes you still need to do, but a lot of it sounds very conversational, very human-like. But with a Wordhero, it's accurate, but it doesn't sound as human as what Jasper produces. But both of them, I really don't think you can go wrong with either one. Both of them are a great choice. It just depends on your needs and the situation that you're in, whether you're okay with a monthly payment or you're okay with the one-time payment. Either way, it's up to you. You decide. But that's just my feedback from what I've seen. I like both of them. I really like both of them. So it's been a great experience to actually get to test them out and see how they stack up. So I'll link both of them in the description below, and you can check them out, get a feel for them. I think there's free trials. I know for sure free trial link for Jasper will be down there. I'll have to make sure I put one for Wordhero, and I'll put those down there so you guys can try them out, get a feel for them, see which one you like best, which one you prefer, and just go from there. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it helped you out, maybe helped you make your decision a little bit easier or a little bit tougher. Hopefully not a little bit tougher, hopefully not. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and tune in next time right here on Cashed Out. Take it easy, guys.